All right, guys, this episode is brought to you by Major Beauty. Your girl is about to hook you up because y'all know how I do my lashes all the time. And Major Beauty is going to offer $20 off your initial full set of lashes. And the first 6 months, you can also use this promo code HERR20 and you can get $20 off your membership because she does offer membership services. So she not only does eyelashes, she also does permanent makeup, those new henna eyebrows. If you're not ready to go full force on the tattooing of the eyebrows, you can try them out by getting this henna stuff done. I haven't tried it because y'all know I got microbladed eyebrows, but I do use Kiana for my lashes. She is my new lash tech. I'm loving her. She's great and she's super duper professional and you're going to love her little studio. So check her out, The Major Beauty. Make sure you use promo code HERR20 to get a discount off your full set and your membership for the next 6 months, guys. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Her Lounge podcast. You see me sit on this table? This is different. Oh my God. I got to get used to this. Since I share a podcast room with hubby, name somewhere back there. Right?
There you go. He pointed
I pointed it somewhere.
It's like when you're in a YouTube video, like subscribe, and you're like, "Where's the button going to be?"
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling this table, but I don't know that I want a table.
You're gonna want a table.
I don't know. I'm gonna think about that. Just because I have my aesthetic and my brain just doesn't work the way most people's
are coming forward.
I would rather be uncomfortable, but as long as my aesthetic looks good, it's
that's
almost
the
like
problem with most women.
Yeah, that's like when we wear high heels. You know what I mean? Like they're the most uncomfortable thing in the world, but yet you still rock them.
She'll look like Bambi, but she's still gonna rock them.
Totally, yes. So welcome, guys. You guys know I like to start off with a positive quote, and I wanted to just start off with mindset, just because it's like towards the end of the year, we're getting to that, oh shit, did I complete my, goals, elections happening November. I think a lot of shit is starting to happen, right?
Yeah.
Like just crazy stuff. You hear that electricity bills are about to just get crazier. And I'm just like, I just can't take this anymore. I'm trying to sound like the Wicked Witch of the West because I just want to melt and have a house fall on me because I just don't know how much longer. I know it's the weirdest thing, but we're going to talk about this. Anyway, so our quote for today, guys, is mindset. It is all about mindset. From the moment you wake up to the moment you rest your head at night, everything is up to you. Your emotions, your thoughts, your perception, your reactions, every moment. And I say that because we were over Pete's family's house this weekend and she was just talking about how there's been just so much crime, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you saw, but there's been so much crime to where they had a dedication to people who have passed due to crime. And it was so long, they couldn't even read all the names that have died from all the crime in Houston.
Are you talking about on the news or what?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They had this whole, like a ceremony or like a dedication type thing to all the lives that have been lost in Houston because of all the crime, right? And so the list was so long they couldn't list everybody, right? Mm-hmm. Like they couldn't say everyone's name. And we were just talking about it. I was just telling her how like the thought of going to the mall before, I think I've said this before, whenever I knew it was time for Pete to go out of town, I couldn't wait to go to the mall because it was kind of like my alone time. It was kind of time for me to be creative as well. It would give me ideas of maybe t-shirts that I saw inside Zara's that we could probably parody. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of my time to use as going to get him an outfit, but also going to see what's out right now to see what we can parody or we can like kind of copy or whatever, So the idea of going to a mall right now for me is like absolutely no way. Like it makes my palms sweaty, like no joke. Cause it's like, I start to think, wait, if I'm taking 2 daughters, I'm taking the little one and this one. And then if it's the 14-year-old, it's like, okay, is she paying attention? Cause now I got to pay attention for her because she's probably on her walking while on the phone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of these things just now cross my mind to where I think the last time I went to the mall, and it was because we were forced, was for Mickey's birthday because we told her we'd take her shopping for her birthday.
Yeah.
But I hate going. to the mall. I hate that it's become something that I hate doing. To me now it's like, can I find this at TJ Maxx? Can I go to Marshall's? Is this something that Target might have? Like somewhere where I can go in and out. Does that make sense?
Which is pretty often, right? You could do that.
Yes. Like now, the way I shop now is that way, or it's going to be online.
Yeah.
100% online. If it doesn't fit, I don't give an F. It's going back. Like I'll just return it and I'll mail it. And I know it's more work, but just going is not fun to me anymore. And so I was just thinking about those things. And the more I thought about it, the more anxiety it gave me. Right. And then the last episodes that we had, it was just all the thoughts of that. And it's just like the year's coming to an end. My deadline to have this space ready did not get met. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay. I keep telling myself it's okay because it's almost there. If I had a lot to go, sometimes like I just really, your voice was in my head when I said, when I looked at, I have a board in our restroom, which is probably not the best place to have it because you go in there so much because that's where my closet is also. And I keep seeing the Pure Space logo. And I have a due date on there, and the due date was not completed. So I made a note, right, to myself so that every time I see it, I wasn't feeling like it didn't get completed. It's like I can't help that the tool that I need, which is a Ryobi tool, by the way, Rob,
Holla.
okay, isn't going to be here till the 28th. My material is here now. First, it was out of material. I bought a tool. The tool was too strong for the type of material that's being used for the backsplash. So I had to order something else, which is a Ryobi one. Which I think we're still going to keep this. I think Pete's going to keep it just in case we ever need to cut something heavier and thicker, I guess. So anyway, so that's coming in the mail on the 28th. So what can I do?
Oh, right.
It's out of my control, right? Because you told me that last time when I was like having anxiety about this whole everything. So it's out of my control. So I just told myself that it's out of your control. You can't control that they can't have your tool. You're so spoiled by Amazon where you can just get it here the next day versus why is it taking y'all 3 business days to send me something that I need? It's actually been a week, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Why is it, it was pushed back. I'm lying. It was supposed to be here on the 22nd. Now it's the 28th.
The problem with Amazon too is that everybody that has a small business that sells something online has to resort to how quickly can I get it shipped out? Because my customer, you have a small business,
Yeah.
A bunch of people that have small businesses. If you don't get the shipping out immediately, they're like, fuck, they're not going to buy from me again because I don't offer the one day or I can't get it there the next day. Like that's unreasonable to think.
Yeah. Which is the reason why I keep saying that I hate that I've become so dependent on the store to where I've lost a little bit of motivation on the online store because I'm spoiled by the fact that I put my items in the store and they do well in the store to where it saves me money from taking pictures of the items. It takes away from me having to continue to post constantly on my social media, And but I keep telling myself like, should something else hit the fan? And I don't ever wish this on the store because I feel like because of them, I'm doing well. You know what I'm saying? But if something were to hit the fan again, right? And they have to close the doors. Well, yeah, I've let my little online store just kind of chill and didn't push it. So I'm trying to do both. So guys, if you're listening, I'm totally having a huge summer sale on there because fall is coming and I can't add fall stuff when I still have a bunch of summer stuff on there. The summer code is summer41. So if you're on the newsletter, you should have gotten this code ahead of everybody else and it was available to you. Excuse me. So Summer 41, if you're wondering why 41, it's because I'm turning 41 in just a week. So that's why I thought I'd give him 41% off. And Don was like, all right, let's do it.
I like it.
So
I like it.
41% off all our summer sale. So just click on the summer sale and all the items that are 41% off are on there. So which is a lot of stuff. So
to stay on the subject real quick, do you pay attention to like retailers, like online retailers? The light, I look so dark in today's video for some reason.
You do.
But what
is it because it's facing that way?
I don't know. I tried different angles. I don't know why I can't get it. I don't know because we move the cameras around. Regardless, I'm pretty tan, guys, as you can see. The focus is not nearly as good on on this camera as it is on that camera.
And I look shiny.
Shiny. If you want to kick your hiney.
All right. Okay.
Moana fans, anybody? I thought the same thing earlier. I was like, God damn it. Like, I know it's a little warm in here, but shit.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
You don't look shiny in person, which is weird.
Exactly. Right? You don't either. Fucking weird. The camera adds all kinds of stuff to you. Viore, it's a brand. It's an athleisure wear brand that took the world by storm probably about 2 years ago. And what they did...
Before Lulu?
No.
So they were after Lulu.
Yeah, way after Lulu.
Lulu's old, and they were supposedly the first.
Yeah.
The pioneers of this.
They are, but Viore started making athleisure wear that was like, it's cool to wear to the office, but also you could wear it to the gym. Like it's really professional athleisure wear that you could double as I'm going out on a night on the town, or I'm going to go get a lifting session in. It looks really nice. You know, obviously they're premium priced or whatever,
Sure.
but they went the opposite direction of almost everyone else. And they went online model, built up a huge brand online, and then started buying brick and mortar spots and opened up retail stores. And like no one's done that. Everyone's going the other way. They're leaving brick and mortar to go online. So as you were explaining that, there made me remind me of them because... What's your thought about that? You know, we talked about business so many different times from different angles, but now, you know, the Hive versus online versus have something hitting the fan again, you know, all that stuff. How do you think about it now?
I'm not brave enough to do a brick and mortar, but I'm brave enough to do something like what they have.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's kind of the responsibility of everyone because everybody's paying her rent versus you coming up with the entire rent. Also, you give so many women an opportunity to create a business that probably normally they wouldn't be able to do. Does that make sense? So if I could open up like a pop-up the way they have it, I'd be so for that just because I think we would, okay. I'd never seen their stuff before.
So I guess I got, here, I'll put the picture for the people here to watch with us. And they have all kinds of stuff now.
Those are cute right there.
Like they used to just have, you know, like your regular workout kind of stuff. And they still carry that. But I've been seeing ads for them just because some of the other fitness podcasts that I listen to use them as an advertiser. And they have some real nice polos and joggers and they have all these kind of different collections for
That's what
shorts.
I want to be. That's what originally, I keep saying this, originally HERR Athletics was supposed to be first, not HERR Apparel. And I think I told you guys where I went the whole cut and sew. That was way too expensive. And then I finally found this one wholesaler that I kind of vibe with, which that is what I'm dropping in the fall. And here's the thing. I was just telling Pete yesterday, I don't know that I want to take pictures because I know that I put it in the store. It's going to sell, you know? Along with all the newer items that I have, all the new jewelry that I have coming in. Oh, yeah.
I love these kind of dresses.
Yeah, those are my favorite.
What do they call them? Are they just...
They're just summer dresses.
Summer dresses?
Yeah, they're just fitted summer dresses. Those are my favorite, too. I love T-shirt dresses, too.
Yeah.
Those are my... Those right there.
These?
Those gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that shit. I have a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, like you do or like waiting to drop?
I do.
Okay,
I own a lot of stuff like that.
I don't know if I care about these big bottoms
those are
here.
ugly.
But people love them these days, apparently.
I love those. I love jumpers. I don't know what it is, but I love jumpers.
Love me a jumper.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
A bodysuit?
Yeah, bodysuit. Man, is it a jumper? I guess I'm thinking, is there another one like a jumper that's a single
Like a leotard
No.
one piece?
What the hell am I thinking? It's not jumper. It's
Well, that is a jumper.
Yeah, maybe it is jumper. I'm tripping.
Yeah,
Cute
so,
stuff.
you know.
But yeah, I don't know that I knew that you plan. But I mean, HERR Athletics is pretty new, right?
No.
No?
HERR Athletics, I had a logo for, David and I did that first before we kind of did HERR Apparel. I didn't have a name for HERR Apparel. And if you saw what I wanted to name it, it was insane. Well, first it started off as Thick Fine. So I had Thick Fine and HERR Apparel. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so Thick Fine was, so if you get sometimes your packages say Thick Fine, that's why, because that's how I registered originally with PayPal. So that's why you get that. But yeah, so that's kind of where we were at first because I really wanted athletic wear. And because that's what I wear all the time. So what it would make more sense to do what, right? For me, athletic wear with accessories is the way to go because you can make athletic wear look cute on your own where you don't even like, you know. So that's kind of where I'm at. As you can see, athletic wear is what I'm wearing. So, and I'm going to go to the gym afterwards. So I don't have to worry about, did I pack a bag of clothes? You know, it's like I'm wearing it already. So, you know, fixed my hair, wore some jewelry, did my makeup, eyelashes just got did, you know. Don't worry about these nails, though.
No, you have less rings than usual.
I have less rings than usual, yeah, because I'm going to the gym. And when I lift, I wear, this is my little lifting ring. I don't wear my wedding ring is so scratched up from where I used to wear it so much to the gym. So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm like, go take it to go get the scratches removed, and then this is my
Special
workout
nights
ring
only.
now. Yeah.
You don't wear rubber?
I have the rubber one too. It just depends. Sometimes I sweat so much though that it just kind of feels weird for me. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. And so, I want this anxiety feeling to go away because I feel like I've let the pandemic beat me. Does that make sense? I feel like that's not my personality. One, I'm not like antisocial, which I've kind of become, like I just don't care to hang out with too many people. It's just like I like just a very minimal amount of folks to hang out with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
is that the pandemic or is that 41?
Maybe a combo.
Yeah, for sure a combo. Probably more 41 to be honest with you.
I just have no interest. It just does not. This Friday, because Hocus Pocus 2 falls, right? It comes out.
Oh, it's so funny you say that. When you mentioned The Wicked Witch of the West earlier, we went to get eye appointments on and they were playing Hocus Pocus. The original.
Where'd you go get what?
My eye checked or whatever. So in the lobby they had that playing, and I was like, "What a classic!" Right? So I looked over at the person at the front office. It was a young girl. I was like, "What a classic!" Right? And she just looked at me like, "Yeah, totally." Like she didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, "Damn, how old are you?"
Yeah. I love it. I love that movie, and so does Penny. Right? So Friday night, I'm literally asked my sister, my cousin, and my aunts and my grandmother are going to come over so we can watch the movie. And that's just like the circle that I need. Like, I just don't need extra people, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's just the weirdest thing. And I was just sitting there just kind of thinking about these things. I was like, and then, I'm getting Botox for my birthday. So I'm super nervous about that. Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to my eyelash girl today about it. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get the Botox. She's like, why are you? I was like, listen, I won't even have my child in a hospital, ma'am. I was like, so can you imagine the nerves that I feel about, because she's like, Botox is not a big deal. Like, it's nothing. She's like, it's the fillers. It's the lip, all the other stuff that's, you got to be. She goes, but Botox is just literally going to freeze your line.
Wait,
I'm getting it right here.
Okay. I like how you just kind of threw that in there subtly. Like, oh yeah, I'm getting Botox on Friday after all this time.
No, I'm not getting it this Friday. I'm getting it I'm doing it for my birthday.
Okay.
Like, so I was like talking to her about it. I was like, refresh my memory again. Like, cause she was like telling me like, you don't need no more than I told her to text it to me. I think she said like no more than 4 syringes on my, she goes, there should not be more than 4 syringes on your face. She's like, and if there's someone's trying to do that to you, they're just trying to sell you more than they need to. So she was like schooling me because she's so young, but that girl has done all kind of stuff and she is on it. She loves beauty. If there's someone that loves beauty, it's her. Like legit, someone that loves beauty, it is her. I've never met someone who is so, you know how Juan Big Stoner is so like well read.
Yeah.
Well, she is so well read in the beauty industry, and I guess because it's her job. Obviously,
Yeah.
she does the microblading eyebrows, she does the eyelashes, she does all these things. So she's on top of it all the time. So she knows about everything. So I told her, I said, okay, so I want to get the Botox. Should I get it? I said, but I don't want to look weird when we go have shows and it's on my actual birthday. And she's like, well, when are you going? I just told her, I said, and I told her, she goes, you should probably consider the Botox this week. She goes, because then you'll be perfect for your birthday. She goes, your makeup's going to look so smooth. And she started telling me, Rob, and I had my purse in my hand and literally my water bottle in my hands. I just showed her. I said, I just want you to see that my hands, you telling me right now, my palms just got sweaty. And she was cracking up. She's like, what are you so over? I was like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm so afraid of that. And I told her, I said, and the day I go get skin removal on my stomach, because I know it's going to happen, I said, you're coming with me. And she's cracking up. I said, she's cracking up. I said, I need you to ask all the questions for me, like that I need to be asking, because I don't know any of the questions, but I told her, I said, I want to drop all the weight on my own. I said, but if I can, and I don't even know if that's possible, right? I'd like to have my hysterectomy, my hernia, and the skin removal all done at the same time, so that the recovery is all one big bang versus me doing the hysterectomy, then the hernia, and then the skin removal. Does that make sense?
It makes sense when you like, you want to be down the least amount of times possible, but that's like a lot to do at once, isn't it?
I know. I don't know. That's why I said I don't even know if it's possible. That's why it's probably something I need to ask my regular OBGYN, like
your actual doctor.
My actual doctor, like, is that
is that eyelash girl?
Yeah, not my eyelash girl. But she was like, there's nothing for you to be worried about. But I always think to myself, I'm going to end up being that one girl that decided to go do something and some shit happened. You know what I'm saying? And that's like what I'm always afraid of, because I'm so like, okay, do I like, I hate the comments sometimes when I post workout videos. Yes, bitch, I know I'm not thin like I used to be. Yes, I know I don't have the muscle definition on my arms like I used to have. Duh. I don't need for you to leave the comment. And
They're still getting you?
well, the thing is that one says just lay on the table, sis. Just lay on the table. Like, just stop working for it. I know that. You don't think that I could easily just go and get surgery and this misery would be done. I mean, this is awful. Like, it's never taken me this long to drop weight. You see what I'm saying?
41.
I'm 41. I've had 2 kids. I get it. And I keep trying to tell myself that, right? But I just don't have it in me just to go get surgery, if that makes sense. Like, I just don't. It's never been me. It's never been my personality. I've never just kind of been.
Are you like, hey, do you hate needles, blood, knives? Are you, no?
None of the above. I just have always kind of felt like, fortunately, this is how God made me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know if it's fortunate or unfortunate, but this is kind of how God made me.
What a backhanded compliment to your Lord and Savior.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, like, what.
Thank you, but also, why didn't you do better?
You know, like, I mean, seriously, I mean, just like, obviously, I think we all look at ourselves in the mirror and like,
you son of a bitch.
We could have, you could have done this a little bit different. Like, why couldn't you have given me natural big long eyelashes like you give some girls? Like, when you see a girl. Okay, Brianda.
Oh, yeah.
Dear Lord.
Yeah, there's certain girls, when you see them, you're just like, man, that's just like piss you off hot.
Dear Lord.
Just piss you off hot.
Like, she's got to have one big toe or something. It's like, it's like gorgeous from head to toe. She's got beautiful eyes. Her features on her face are beautiful. She's got a great body. It's like.
But everyone always has something they want to work on, right? Regardless of what it is. Maybe it's not physical for some, but it's something.
Probably, yeah. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you see girls like that, you're like, not fair.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Like.
What the hell?
Jeez.
How much more do I need to tide?
You could have worked on me a little bit longer. You made me short. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, she's tall. I mean, you know what I mean? So, it's little things like that. So I've always been one to be admire, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can tell you, like, I don't have a problem saying someone's beautiful or like complimenting a female. Like, it is what it is. It's obvious. Like, hating doesn't do you. You're not going to get cuter by hating girlfriends. So, like, why do it?
No, it's going to make you older faster.
Yeah, it's going to just
disgruntled.
No, you're just bitter. You're just a bitter.
And you're going to make that face you just made where you're like kind of like scowling, like it's no good. Dawn will do that for no reason. Like, she'll be literally looking at her garden and her face sometimes scrunches up and I'm like, what are you mad at? She's like, oh, I don't know. I just always do that. Luckily, she hasn't gotten like a ton of wrinkles yet, but like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Elaine from Seinfeld, from the late 80s, early 90s, you could see she was going to start getting, those lines on her forehead, right? And all of her scenes, she's always like, has this like expression where her forehead's scrunched up. Now, she was at the end scene of an Avengers movie, probably like 2 years ago. The lines in her fucking forehead, so they look like, I mean, they're just like this deep. They're just deep, and it looks terrible.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, man, what do you do? Like, I don't think Botox even helped that at that point.
Late. Yeah, that's what I want to avoid because I talk with my face.
Yeah, but look at you now. You look fine.
I know, but we want to avoid the future.
You're 40. You're gonna be 41. She was when she was doing Seinfeld. She was probably in her late 20s, early 30s, and she already kind of had that.
Well, she should have had already started. Well, if anybody, she should have started. She should have known better because she's in Hollywood. So somebody should have given her some recommendations there because
this is just so I don't know, out of left field that you say, yeah, I'm just decided to do it.
Because it's been on my mind and I've been wanting to do it. And Pete's been kind of like, don't do it. Like, I don't want you to start looking. Like, I'm not going to go look and get cheek filler. I'm not going to get my nose, made look like a cute little button. I just want it on my forehead. That's it. And that's all I want, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not trying to do a lip filler either, because I feel like that's one of those where you're like, you better get you a good person because otherwise you're going to end up with some crazy lips, right? Don't you think?
No, for sure.
Yeah. So I don't. If I wasn't so afraid of it, I think I would do it. But because I'm afraid. Oh, and I've also known people that end up with this ball right here from where I guess the stuff didn't dissolve right. So if you're listening to this and you're comparing this episode to the last.
The last two.
I'm sorry. said this is the shittiest one, and we're talking about
why do you always
beauty.
say that when we don't have a serious guest on?
Because I always feel like when we're talking about this is like this doesn't educate you, this doesn't inform you, this doesn't
Sure
like
it
do
does.
none of the above except tell you like what my midlife crisis is happening right now. I have anxiety, I need Botox, and I just want to finish this peer space. That's where we're at right now.
So many listeners, so many women are going through the same thing. They're like, oh, somebody I can relate to and at least listen to while I'm doing my shitty chores day in and day out.
That's another thing. Oh my God. So Luisa has knee issues, right? So she doesn't climb the second floor.
Knee. I think it said neat.
No, knee.
Okay.
And so usually she would help out by tidying up a little bit, right? And so because watching two kids, it's too hard, right? But she would tidy up enough to where it's like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I would just have to come in and just kind of really go in there. Well, she doesn't go to the second floor. So the second floor needs a lot of work up there. And this morning I just looked at it and I just kind of sat on my bed and I was like with my arms crossed and I just said, what day are you going to designate to just do your top floor because your top floor just needs it? And then I said, okay, should I hire the cleaning lady just to come do the top floor because the bottom floor has been done? I started like thinking like,
yeah.
Hey, so would you be willing just to do the top floor because the bottom floor is fine, you know? And then I started thinking, I'm like, oh my God, if I ever like when God blesses us even a bigger house, I'm like, how's that gonna? I'm like, yeah, I'm cool with the size that I have right now. I'm like, you know, I ain't trying to do all of the above, you know. But anyway,
we need to get Luisa one of those little riding like chairs on the rail.
Yeah. Oh, I want to buy us when Cindy gets a little bit older because I'm afraid she is not afraid to do it. Have you ever seen the? It's like a slide for stairs, so kids can slide down.
Yeah, totally.
So they're $200. I wanted to gift that to Penny for Christmas, right? But then I thought, okay, how does that put Sunny? Let me see. Like, I guess like a year and a half. I'm like, damn it. Is she ready to come down a slide that fast? You know? And I was like, maybe I'm going to have to wait until she's maybe 2 before I can incorporate a slide on. That makes sense. I always think about them and I always think about like, so here's my other thought about what I'm trying to do. I'm thinking about taking their couch out, putting that couch in the other little in the front area.
Yeah.
And getting them, I don't know if you've seen, they're like these little beanbag chairs, but they're not really beanbags. They're just kind of more like sofas that fold up into a chair. And if you feel like laying down on it, you unfold it.
Bro, I love those. I see ad for those all the time.
Okay.
You know what they're called?
I don't, but I have them saved on my Pinterest.
There's some like you can make them into full-blown couches.
Yes.
They're huge. Mm-hmm. Just an awkward silence.
I'm trying to find this.
You started looking at that and I started reaching over to the camera right at the same time.
I know.
That and for some reason I love beanbags and I want one of those huge giant beanbags.
You see this couch right here? Okay, so I want to get them 3, right? Just to make enough. If we go over there to sit with them or whatever, and you see this setup, guys. I know if you're not on you watching this on YouTube, but do you see this kind of?
Yeah,
you see this?
Yeah, you can get it close to the camera. It'll focus in a little bit. Yeah, I like that.
So I want to put that in their area.
You want to put a park in their fucking living room?
Because Penny asked for a bar to practice her gymnastics. Okay, and so I just kind of like thought, okay, well, how can I make this fun to where it doesn't just look like I have a random bar in their play area, you know? So I thought, well, Penny and Sunny can benefit from this because also, as we talked about, I wanted them to have a play area outside, but it's been so damn hot. Even when we go to the park, Penny's like, I'm ready to go. So are y'all done? I'm like, well, we're here because of you, girl. Like, and she comes up to us talking about, I'm ready to go. And we've only been there maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go buy this. I'm going to buy this $1,000 play because that's how much these damn things are. You know what I'm saying? $1,000. What are those called? Playgrounds? Yeah. I don't know. Play sets that you put outside, right? And I'm wondering how often she's going to use it because it's so hot outside. Like, you know what I'm saying? We've barely even gone into the pool. And we have a pool. That's a whole other subject. I had a whole issue about with Pete. I'm like, I can't believe we had all wanted a pool. We want a pool. The house must have a pool. Oh yeah, that house is nice, but it doesn't have a pool. You know what I'm saying? It was like, we must have a pool. We have a pool, and I think we've been in there now. I mean, granted, we haven't been living in the house that long.
We've
right?
been like 2 months.
You're right. Like we wouldn't be
and it's hot 10 out of the 12 months.
It's so hot to where it's like we don't have shade, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, we have where you can put poles like on the side. Remember we put those out where you can put poles on the side. So but yeah, so what I'm going to do, just stay on the edge, just kick my feet out and hold myself on the edge. You know what I mean? It's so hot to where it's like I'm putting sunscreen on the girls like I don't know how many times while they're out there swimming, you know? Penny's the one that loves to go out there. And I mean, a parent's got to be out there. So, you know, we're out there and it's just hot as hell. We're just like, oh my God, are you almost done, Penny? And it's just like, why don't you get in yourself? Well, it's like so much work now. If I go get in, now I have to bring Sunny in too. So it's kind of like, you know, I was just looking at the pool the other day, how pretty it looked with the light, you know, at night, because I was cleaning up the kitchen. I was like, look how pretty my pool looks. I'm like, it just looks so pretty. I wish that I could just go sit out there right now with a glass of wine and not sweat. Like I just showered. I can't even enjoy a glass of wine by the pool because you just start to like.
But it's nice in the evening.
Barely.
You're in the water though. Like,
no. I meant like just sitting out there, like relaxing. You know, like just sitting
get
out
your ass
there
in the water.
Yeah, if I didn't have kids, I have. Well, we just bought another. I couldn't find my
baby monitor,
so I got another one.
Put those in there and get
now
your
I
ass
got
out there.
So now Pete and I said that we were going to probably get the book and a glass of wine and sit out there when the kids are asleep, because I'm like, we got to use our pool.
Yeah,
man.
and if you don't feel like reading, make another baby in the water.
Oh no, sir. We are done with babies. I do not want it. But speaking of kids and all that, guys, I ended up buying the book. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about this real quick. Did you hear about the Katy Church yesterday? Yo.
I don't even know what to think about that.
Just getting closer to your house.
Your house.
True. Our houses.
You're 99. I'm far from there. I'm still 55 minutes away.
Damn, that's true.
My mom, I told you my mom and I always meet halfway. Although I'm closer to Cypress now because I'm 290. My mom lives on the 290 side of, you know how Cypress kind of, if you go this way, it's kind of I-10. You can come from I-10, or this side come from 290. So I'm closer to her.
Are you familiar with Thousand Islands coffee shop? No. It's a really good coffee shop up there in Cypress. Yeah, I believe it's called Thousand Islands. Am I thinking of the dressing?
I think that's addressing to me.
Hold on, let me look for it real quick. But as you were saying, or as you were about to say about the book.
Yeah, I sat here and just kind of like looked at it, and it just the crazy thing is that this book just kind of the fact that you're telling me,
hey Joe Biden, get your thoughts together.
It's just I'm looking at the pictures and I'm just like, my gosh.
Is it stuff that you can't show on YouTube? That kind of stuff in that book? Is it graphic?
I guess it's animated, so to some it may not feel offended. You know, this book says, "To whoever needs it, whatever your age," and I just thought to myself, what? And also, this is like, I guess, a series of books, because this is also Drawn to Sex, The Basics of Oh Joy Sex Toy, Volumes 1 to 4.
Jeez.
This book was written in Google Documents, drawn digitally using Clip Studio Paint, and colored edited in Photoshop. I was like, what? So is this going to make it better? Why are you giving me this piece of information? I'm just wondering, right? I mean, it sounds really stupid that I'm reading it, but I just want you guys to hear this. It utilizes a homemade font of Erica Moen's handwriting in addition to, I don't really know, Agilis? Agilis? Lobster. Railway, Future, Handwritten, and Tectone Pro. What was that need for, ma'am or sir? Who wrote this? Oh, ma'am and sir. So ma'am and sir, but I don't know what their gender pronouns are. So know we might have a problem there.
They them.
This book is quite interesting. I kind of sat here.
You know what's really good about having those books, honestly, and I know you said it before, like you hate to feel like you're giving them money,
Yes,
right? But
totally.
what they can do, what people, media, whoever is in control of these things, these publications, or of promoting it or talking about it online, they could just change any kind of digital copy or digital like editorials of those books. But if you have a hard copy and they ever try to be like, oh, we never said that, look at the website or look at the PDF versions, like, no, bitch, I got the book.
No, because here's the thing. I'm tired of being accused of, well, yes, you're just reposting it. Have you verified yourself? I have. So that's why if you're listening to this podcast, for whatever reason that you listen to me, I want you to know that the book is real. I'm holding it with my hands. If you're not watching the video, watching the YouTube version of my podcast. And I just wanted you to hear how it starts. Okay. So for those of you listening, I'm showing this here, and it is very animated, so it's kind of cartoonish, right? Mm-hmm. And it starts off. It says, "Bring," which is the bell ringing. "Here till 6. So come find me if any of you have questions." So they're leaving a classroom, basically, right? I mean, condoms on bananas? Come on. How old do they think we are? Which goes to what Monica talked about, right? Because that's how they show comprehensive sex ed, right? Mm-hmm. Actually, I sort of had fun with that part. Did you see how Sam blushed? Beet red? It was just so basic. Okay, like I've got the internet. I already know what goes on, where and how the sperm meets the egg, but how do you go from having a crush to put a condom on something? What are the in-between stages, For real, I know. Miss Bellwood says, you can ask me anything, but yeah, no thank you. Like, consent? We all know that's important, but how do I bring it up? Am I seriously supposed to be like, pardon me, potential sex partner, do you consent to our upcoming tomfoolery? Bro.
What the hell?
Well, yes, bitch, you gotta, sorry. Yes, you have to have, I'm really trying to stop
You're
cussing.
really trying to be better about that.
Yeah, I really am. So you're telling me if one of you wants to have it, but the other one doesn't, it's like, why?
I just kicked the shit out of my microphone. God damn it.
You're not supposed to have consent?
Wait, so what is this? Who is this for? Who's this supposed to be for?
Ages 8 to 12.
On Amazon?
This is Amazon, but supposedly Amazon removed it, but they didn't remove it because I obviously own it.
But was that the one that was in libraries for little kids?
It still is.
It still is. What is going on?
Junior high and high school. Middle school. Sorry, because I said junior high to Mickey and her cousin.
Yeah.
They're like, because I said how they like high school, and they said, we still like wherever they were going to better. And I said, oh, okay. And I said, junior high is easier, huh? She goes, yeah, No, I went to middle school. And I was like, okay, that's how you know you're old, because it used to be called junior high.
Yeah, I went to junior high too.
What's the difference between middle school and junior high?
Middle school was 5th and 6th. Junior high was 7th and 8th. And then high school, obviously, your freshman year.
Well, growing up, there was it was until I got to high school when they started doing like 6th grade centers or 9th grade centers, I think, or something like that. That was like unheard of when I was growing up. You all went together. So it was elementary, junior high, and high school.
All in one?
No. We were separate, but it was called junior high. We didn't call it, it was called both, but everybody said junior high. But it was funny that they didn't know that junior high and middle school was the same thing. But anyway.
You're 41.
I know. I was
You're
like,
14.
oh my gosh. And then it says, they're always telling us to just avoid sex, but maybe we should be getting help for the sex we might already be having. And how about the stuff that isn't like sex, gender and sexuality? Relationships, sexting, jealousy, rejection. Well, first of all, why are you in junior high? Like, I don't know. I was a late bloomer, as I've told the story about when I went into puberty. So I don't know if it's just me or what. Maybe we were talking about this and I just don't recall. But I don't recall us being this explicit about. I don't think. Trying to think if anybody was having sex when we were in junior high. Maybe they were, and I just didn't know.
I definitely knew some sleuts.
Yeah, so check this out. There should be like a book about this stuff, but with us teens doing the technique.
Whoa.
Ha ha. Or a comic book. Nerd. Hey, so want to grab a snack before next class? Sure. Anything but a banana. That's the intro, the preface to
the book.
To the book.
Okay.
Okay. So it says, what is first? And if you guys want to not listen to this podcast, it's totally okay today. Because I know it's like, why are you reading a book to us? It's because there's some of us who have children and we can't believe and in shock, even though we heard it firsthand by Monica this past week. But when I saw that this was actually in a library and HTX Kid First, if you go to their IG, they actually have the list on there of all the school libraries this book is in. Yes. So she does a good job about when she calls a book out, if you keep reading underneath like her caption, she'll have all the schools where this book is located. So this book is located in some of HISD schools. Says, what is first? What do you do? How do you know you're ready? No, but how do you make absolutely sure? How do you talk about whether you're ready? How do you make sure your partner is ready? Why is this all so complicated? Right? So it goes on and it goes on like girls having convo and so forth. Right. And the part where I just kind of wanted to talk about it real quick is this. So it says this. So here we are. Yep. Well, I guess we should wait. Before we do anything, I wanted to tell you I like you. But it's okay if you're not into me. I get it. I know. I mean, I like you. Oh my gosh, I like you too. So I'm a virgin. The girl's yelling now. Whoa, I didn't mean we should. No, sorry, that came out wrong. I mean, I haven't done anything before at all with anybody. I've never even kissed anyone. I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, hey, that's okay. I'm really glad you told me. Okay. I don't know what age this is still all happening in, but they're talking about is mutual masturbation, sexting, kissing, oral sex, anal sex, embracing oral anal sex, foreplay, phone sex, vaginal sex. And so it goes on to it. I've skimmed through it. So just so you guys know, like, okay, are you going to read it? It's giving you definitions at first, like what is consensual sex, right? Constant communication between you guys, right? Fingers plus vagina. I want to show that. Right. You see that?
Okay.
It gets worse, Rob. It gets worse than this.
Now, imagine we don't know. Well, you did say that there are elementary schools.
It said
or
that
elementary libraries,
junior high
libraries, for sure.
And that's supposedly, so sixth grade can get a hold of this.
Even sixth, how old are you in sixth grade?
12?
11, 12?
Yeah.
Imagine your 11, 12-year-old getting a hold of this book and bringing it home to you.
Yeah, and then imagine this. Let's just say this is your summer reading, because that's what I read was some of the assignment for this. Sex is the label a doctor gives you. The doctor gives you your body when you're born. It's based on what your genitals look like, which is determined by the chromosomes and hormones you have. It's typically male, female, or intersex. And intersex are very rare. It's a very rare occasion, okay?
Super rare.
I think it's like 1% out of, I don't even know how many.
Oh, that's being generous. Like, it's way less than that.
And I'm reading like 3 books at one time, guys. Don't ask me why, because I'm just trying to get reading done here.
Well, join the HERR Book Club whenever you have time.
You know what I'm saying?
Inside the Discord. Really good time to mention the Patreon if you want to support the podcast.
The Patreon. Come join us. We are, guys, I just want y'all to know that whoever is continuing to join, I really thank you, because I wanted to be at 50 patrons by the end of the year, and we're at 32.
30, yeah. Well, just 31 here.
Well, no, we just got a new one.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Holla.
Hanky.
Oh, yeah.
Hank?
I saw that. Yeah.
So
well, that's what's up.
Shout out to that person for, I don't know if it's a male or female. So
we don't judge here. Whatever you want to identify
I just don't know, because you know how you come up with your own name. So I don't know if it's a male or female. So shout out to that person for, becoming, a her soldier.
It's really just a Sparky of the different alias.
Exactly. But yeah. So anyway, so these books, I'm really obsessed with this topic, guys,
Yeah.
and I talk about it a lot, and I know it can get just like, do you not have anything else to talk about? But it just seems like every day something new in regards to this subject comes out, and the family drag show that just happened inside of a church. I mean, bro.
What was do you know the church? It was like Christians?
It was
Christians?
Katie's first Christian
Katie's
church.
first Christians?
Church. And
Katie's first, was it Baptist church or no? Katie's first.
No, it just said Christian, a Christian church. That's all it said.
Drag bingo event at Katie Church. Oh, it was a bingo event. I don't know if I remember hearing that in the story. So obviously, I mean, this. Do you want to move into the story? I mean, we got about 15 minutes left.
Yeah.
So this is Click to Houston. Drag bingo event in Katy Church stirs up controversy. So a drag bingo night at Katy Church stirred up controversy on Saturday evening. The event was meant to raise money for the church's clothing boutique for trans youth. And here's the Click to Houston kind of story on it. If you guys want to, is there a video?
Wait, are they part of Katy Christian Ministries?
I don't know.
Oh my God, if they are.
You know somebody that goes there or what? These mandatory ads are frustrating. 2 seconds.
Hold on, guys. All right, here we go.
Katy Church stirring up a controversy this evening. This event meant to raise funds for the church's clothing boutique for trans youth, sparking heated demonstrations. Our cameras were rolling as demonstrators clashed outside of the First Christian Church on Morton Ranch Road. A number of groups supporting the LGBTQ community and groups against the event said they wanted to make sure their voices were heard.
They're having an event and they're welcoming children to a drag queen bingo hour, and this is unacceptable.
What harm is there? You have these people over here that want to intimidate people that are vulnerable. And so me and the other groups out here on this side, we're here to just defend those people.
Despite the crowds, bingo night went on as scheduled. 2 events were held with special MCs calling out the numbers. The church's reverend says she hopes the extra attention will help their mission.
This is a big event for us, a fundraising event for our Transparent Closet, which is a closet for all people, but especially teens and young adults who are exploring and transitioning. And so this event has garnered a lot of attention, and through that, people have been able to find us.
The church telling us overall the event itself was very positive and raised funds for their cause.
Huh. Dude, look, listen, I'm as open, I try to be as open-minded as the next person, but when I say slippery slope and you hear the term slippery slope, are we not there yet? This is a very slippery slope.
Bro, we got into Marxism in church this past Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
You have got to listen to that freaking episode. It's
Dr.
called
Ed
Marx
Young?
Madness.
Marx Madness.
It's the Sun.
Okay. Still same name, right?
No, Ed Young is senior and Young junior. He has a church actually in Dallas.
Okay.
Why can't I think of the other son's name? Jesus, that's old.
Is it
No, that's another one.
Really?
He's actually, oh my gosh, why can't I think of his name? Y'all, today is Monday for a fact, and I haven't finished this coffee.
Is it Ben?
So Ben, thank
Okay.
you. Jeez, that took forever.
It's all right. It's all right. It's been one of those Mondays. It seems
yeah.
like every Monday is one of those Mondays.
Yeah, for me, all the time. Yeah, so he just kind of talked about like how they want to remove, and I think we know this, they want to remove God away from the families. They want to, split families up. And this book, speaking of all that, government schools are bad for your kids, which it's such an easy read. You would think I'd be done with this book by now.
That's my size of book right there.
And I'm really embarrassed to admit that I'm still not done with it. But here's why I'm not done with it. If you would see the amount of notes I have in this book, it's like,
nice.
I can't stop. I have to go back and like No, I couldn't have read that. There's no way. Like,
Yeah.
I literally had to go get a pen because I was like, I've got to make notes of all this stuff.
What's it called again?
Government schools are bad for your kids.
Okay.
And so, and what I like about it is that the author begins with, you have to read this book with an open mind. Like, you can't think Democrat, Republican. You can't think like, I'm not for, I'm against this. You know what I'm saying? You have to just come in with a blank idea of what public schools are or government schools are, because he's about to school you of how this all began, how they were structured from the get-go.
Okay.
So the schools, do you know that the reason why there's private Catholic church schools, right, and they're not included they don't get funding from the state, right, even though they're a church, is because they were against these folks that came in and said, no, we don't want, Catholics are a threat to the American tradition, is what they think. And so they felt like Catholics were, they were eager to prevent Catholics from obtaining any public funding for their schools and require the use of Protestant Bible in public schools. So the Protestant church took over public schools. The U.S. took a Protestant teaching from Europe and brought it into the U.S. Prior to that, you were taught, and they were the most literate group of folks without going to school, and they were being taught by parents and like your community.
So have you heard about, I'm sure Chingus already mentioned it, the Italian prime minister that just won, the first female prime minister?
I saw her speech today.
So,
and now they're calling her.
Oh, I was just going to pull it up for you. These are just the top 3 articles about her, right? NBC, far-right leader Giorgia Meloni set to become the Italian prime minister. Far-right. Got to start with the far-right. Who's the next one? Is this Variety? Variety. Meloni poised to win Italy's election, becoming the most far-right prime minister since Mussolini. And then the New York Times, hard right leader Meloni set to become so on and on and on.
You know what's sad is that here's the thing:
And
Italians are family united.
That's what she ran on,
bro.
That's what she ran on,
and that's why so many people were cheering her on.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just tell you something. There's one thing to go to Italy, and you're just going as a tourist. But if you know someone in Italy, let them show you around and how they work. My girlfriend lived in Italy, and we went to go hang out at her neighbor's house. I want you to know that the entire first floor, which would be considered a garage, basically, is what they make an additional kitchen on top of the regular kitchen that comes in the house in the bottom floor, because that's where they all congregate.
The elders, right? Oh, okay.
They all congregate. So when we came in, they have a table ready, a huge kitchen. Coffee is ready for you. Your cups are served to you. And you're sitting there having pastries, coffee, and chit-chatting. I mean, they have a huge table, and it's the bottom part of their house that they all convert into a socializing section, because families all come together and congregate there.
Yeah, totally. And they have their parents move in with them more than anybody else in the world, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the craziest thing to me is that I don't know how we've allowed for that to be taken away. Does that make sense? Like, where did we find it okay to no longer congregate as a family?
Listen, I don't want to over-exaggerate when I say this, is that over the last 2 years, Marisol and Chingo included have become less susceptible to just information that's thrown at you, and then before it would just received with a like, oh, okay, yeah, I saw it on NBC or I saw it on CNN, and that's what it was. You took it at face value. But something happened in y'all's brains where you're like, this shit don't make sense anymore.
No.
But a lot of people that hasn't clicked for yet.
And I think for me, like, again, these things were pointed out to me by my mom more than my dad. My dad wasn't really into politics. I think he just voted red just because he just kind of felt like, well, that was the president that hooked me up, so I'm going to always vote Republican, right?
Makes
so
sense. Old
he
school.
didn't really like, but my mom's always been kind of very nerdy. Like, it's funny because whenever Juan Big Stoner will refer a book, I'm always thinking like, okay, I got to give this to my mom. My mom's going to knock it out in a day, because that's how she is. She'll stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning to finish the book and gets up for work like nothing. If she felt like she got some knowledge that day, she is good to go. Like, My mom always says that if she died and came back, she'd be an anthropologist. Like that's her jam. She loves history. She loves like all that stuff. So anyway, my mom was always really big. Like you got to understand that this is how it works and this and that. Family has always been important to me, which is crazy that I never saw that was what they were trying to take you away from happening, you know, because we were always together. Like my dad's family is like super tight. And so every Sunday before my dad passed, we always went to my grandmother's house on Sunday. Like that's where you went, you know? And so I don't know why the division of family. It's like, why do you well, I do know why. They want to break you up so that they can come in and start feeding you this garbage that's happening in this world, and then we're just going to have the shittiest country ever.
Yeah.
You know, once you take God and family out, what do you have?
Well, you know what's funny about the United States, and I'm going to bring this up to Chingo tomorrow when we do the podcast, is that when you look at Italy and you look at the other countries, these places they're a people, right? Italy, they're Italians, they're a people. You know, you look at other countries like Denmark, Sweden, like they're a people. But in America, we're not a people. We're a melting pot of an idea.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to really think about how this whole experiment has worked so well for so long.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously ups and downs, but it's not the same as in Italy. In Italy, they're Italians, and that's what they want their Italian cultures to stay in place, and they don't want to be ruled by American thoughts and this fucking Marxist ideology to come in and socialism. That's not how it works, or anywhere else, right? But here, it's weird because people don't see it that way. Like, we're not a people here. We're all kinds of motherfuckers in here trying to make it work. It's not the same.
But they're coming in and trying to create us to be like-minded thinkers. Like they want us all to be the same. That's what they're trying to create, you know, is us to be
When you were young, do you remember a phrase in school they would say like one world? We're almost done. We only got like 5 minutes.
One world. No, I don't remember that. Thank you.
They would teach us that in school. And then now that you grow up, you're like, wait, that doesn't make sense, right? Because we're all so different. There's no way we're all just going to think the same.
Yeah. That is true. And then it was the circle with all the kids. Yeah. Oh my God. It just right now when we're talking,
they try to shove that down our faces when we were kids.
Well, reading this book I was like, oh shit. I never even saw that was happening in school because they do it in such a slick way. It's almost like, here you go. Like they just slide it. They slide in the DMs kind of thing, you know,
real smooth with it.
And, I just want to say that I don't know if I'm going to have to go dance on a pole or go stand in a corner, but my child is not going to public school. It's official. It's just not. And maybe I shouldn't have read this book because it freaks you out to where it's like, unless it's going to be having a very strong house. Like, let's just say someone who absolutely cannot afford to take their kid to private school, right? Which it's not fair, right? That you have, I still don't feel like it's fair that you have to pay to go to a private school when you're paying taxes for a public school.
Yeah.
But the fact that that any of this nonsense is happening in public schools and parents are allowing it, because we're allowing it. We're allowing these teachers to just teach whatever they want, say whatever they want, make TikToks. I mean, I don't remember ever seeing anything public about my teachers ever. Everything of their life was private.
Yeah.
Like I said, I knew that my coach was gay, but she never said this is my, you know, I knew that my soccer coach was gay just because we knew she was.
This is my lover. You want to know what we do on the weekends?
Yeah. It's like she wasn't there and she wasn't wearing a gay flag. I mean, I don't have a problem with you being gay. Like, it's your right. If that's who you love, that's who you love, right? It's you trying to push it down our throats and having to say, yes, we accept it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm never going to accept a kid transitioning, but I will easily accept an adult because an adult knows what the fuck they're doing to their body.
Well,
but as a child, you as a parent, bro, you don't even give. This is what trips me out is that if you get Tylenol, Motrin, whatever it is, there's a dosage that you're supposed to give your child on the back, right? And even then, you're kind of like, damn, I don't know, like. I don't know about y'all, but that's how I am about medication. I'm always like, damn, I don't know if I should give them. Let me go find a natural way. I'm always the natural way, right? Before I even turn to medicines.
Let me put some peppermint on my, side of my head or something's gonna work.
Mustard.
Mustard.
Luisa, that's how you get rid of chipotes, by the way. Like a bump.
What?
Yes, when you hit yourself, like not a bruise, but like when you get like a little, like when you're pops out. What do you call them in English? I can't think of it. No, a chipote. Like when you hit yourself and like a whole bump comes out.
I think
like
it's
a bump.
Chipotle.
No, chipote.
Like a
bump.
Like a hematoma. What hematoma?
I guess no.
A contusion.
I mean, not that serious, Rob. I'm talking about. Like, I'm just talking about like if you hit yourself accidentally, now you have like this.
You got a bruise.
Like a little. Luisa puts mustard on there, and she swears by it.
We need to make a PDF of all the things that Luisa swears by, and then just
try it,
and then debunk it. Yeah, exactly.
Because she's got plenty of them. But anyway, so what I'm getting at is I'm afraid, right, of certain medications. What is this going to do? Whatever. We're so cautious, right, when they're babies. How is it that as a parent, you're not doing that much of research about what these medications do to these young kids' body in the future, what you're causing them? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What you're causing in their body?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
There's an episode that I don't always refer Rogan's, because they're all 3 hours and most people don't catch all of them, but I try to catch most of them. And there was one that he had on last week. It was, what was his name? It was Brigham Bueller. He runs a clinic in Austin called Ways to Well. Uh-huh. It is the most in-depth conversation about how insurance companies not only work, but how there's like 4 major insurance companies that run the world, basically, and big pharma and medicine and all that. It will make you irate and blow your mind. You have to listen to it. It's JRE episode 1873 with Brigham Bueller. So fascinating that I listened to it twice. Yep. I listened to 6 fucking hours of this conversation.
Oh, wow. Because I'm still on Dr. Gabor, mate. 1869.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes, I'm not done with it, but I'm almost there. And that was really interesting.
Max Lukavere was also very good. He's awesome.
Because the whole thing with, even if you think about this, even Mexicans are like that, or Hispanics. I don't know about every.
Yeah, right. You gotta be careful what you say.
When you're like, no, don't grab them because of Brazilar, right? Mm-hmm. And for those of you who don't speak Spanish, that means like don't do that because then they're gonna always want to be carried, right? Yeah. Like let them cry, leave them on the floor. Don't always pick them up, right? Mm-hmm. It's funny because he said a mother's instinct, right, mm-hmm. is opposite your immediate instinct, and it's true. And he's a man saying this, right? Or at least for me, when my child cries, my first instinct is to go pick my child up, mm-hmm. right? Not let her cry it out, unless I know she's just being a spoiled brat, what I'm saying? Then it's kind of like, bro,
you're trying to get away with something here.
Calm it
down.
But like when they're babies, they kind of need you all the time. I mean, all the time. Yesterday, my sister came over, and Sunny's pretty attached to me, more so than Penny, I would say. Penny's very independent. She's very like on her own. She doesn't really require a lot of attention. She likes it, but she doesn't. She likes it from an audience, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. She doesn't want it like individually. I don't know. But Sunny just kind of looks for. She sees me, and it's that one hand scoot, and she's there with me. You know. My sister yesterday comes over and I said, hey, just put in the code. I'm like, come upstairs. I'm like, because I'm not going to go downstairs to open the door for you. You know what I'm saying? So, because I was doing laundry. Yeah. And so she walks in, she goes, oh my God, how are you doing laundry with her on your hip? I was like, just like this. So literally I was putting up laundry and she's on my hip and I'm like folding, and she's like, wow. She's like, you need to make a video of that. She's like, of you. I had her on my rebozo and I was like folding, and I just kind of, she wants to be with me. So that's what I do. And then I'm giving her a bunch of kisses, and she's like, yeah, that's probably the problem right there. My sister said, it's like you smother her with all this like love and affection, and you keep kissing her, and and you're playing with her. She's like, how else do you want her to be independent if you're just all on? I'm like,
you didn't get enough kisses. That's why you think of it that way.
Exactly. Then I said, well, actually, you need to go listen to this podcast from Joe Rogan. I was like, because he said, because it's crazy, because he said like, his mother's journal said like, I desperately want to pick you up because you're crying because you're hungry, but the doctor said I can only feed you every 3 hours. You know? And he says that you as a parent are the first person that they're trusting. And here you're showing them like, wait a minute, no, we can't. Like there's a separation here because you're crying. I need to teach you that we don't need to hold. And I was just like, the whole time I'm thinking to myself, I was like, well, have I done that to Penny or Sonny? I'm like just analyzing my parenting skills after that. I was like, I don't want my kids to like, you know, I already feel like Penny feels a certain kind of way after I've spanked her before. Like to her, it's like, remember I told you guys, she said, I'm not going to cry anymore when you spank me.
He talked about that too. Have you gotten to that
I'm not there yet.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
So you see what I'm saying? Like I didn't do anything. I didn't accomplish anything with her by spanking her because now she feels like, oh no, you're not, you know, we're good. You know, we're good. Like I'm not going to cry next time you spank me, you know? So I've learned that spanking doesn't work for Penny, but rather God's watching what you do, Penny. Bro, because that's what they teach at school, like right and wrong. And then she came home and said, do you know that God watches everything that we do? And I said, yes, I do know that. I said, so you know that every time you talk to mom and dad, when you talk back to us or you scream at us, my God's watching that too. And her face, bro, she stayed quiet. And then she said, Mom, I'm sorry that I talked to you that way. I said, that's okay. I said, I forgive you. I said, that's it. I said, and God forgives you too. I said, God's a forgiving God. And she goes, okay. And then she did something to Pete. I said, do you think that was nice the way you did, Dad? She goes, no. I said, so what do you think we should do? I'm sorry, Dad. So it's like, yes. And I told Pete, I said, this girl's going to a Christian church for the rest of her life. Because the other morning, Rob, it was such a good feeling. I walked in on her having, I had just served her breakfast, right? Yeah. And I went to go change Sunny's diaper while she's eating. And then I was coming to put Sunny in her high chair. And I come in on her saying, thank you, God, for another morning. Bro, I got like choked up, teary eyed. I was like, oh my God, my child. I said, Pete, get over here right now. And he's like, what? I'm like, she just said, thank you, God, for another morning. We pray before we eat, but I've never told her like, you know, make sure you thank God. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's something that I do, but I can't. I just kind of feel like she's little. I don't know that she understands that. But I don't know if that's something that they're teaching at school or what. But, you know, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to have to really make an effort for her to continue to go to a Christian school because her little brain is going. Like yesterday we went to church and she learned about Jezebel. And the craziest thing is I love the name Jezebel. Yeah. I love the name Jezebel. And when we learned about her when I was growing up, you know, La Princesa Jezabel, I was like, oh my God, Jezabel sounds so pretty, you know? And I remember my Sunday school teacher saying, yeah, you don't want your daughter to be named Jezabel. She's like, you'll see why. So I was just the slut of the Bible, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you don't want your child to be named after a slut, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, most girls named Jennifer or Brittany are probably in that same category.
or like Midnight says, Vanessa's. All Vanessa's are hoes. That's what his joke is.
Shout out Midnight.
Goes, yeah, any Vanessa that you meet, I guarantee you she's been a hoe at some point in her life. I was like, okay. But anyway, so it was really cool to see her. But I'm just saying, like, the same way, my point to that was, with everything that's going on in schools, right? Everything that's going on in the world, kids are sponges. And if you continue to just allow to give your child that much freedom, you are going to continue to allow everybody's influence to be a part of your child, because we trust the school system so much, because why would they do any harm? Especially if you're probably born around my era or before. I mean, you respected the shit out of your teachers because they were allowed to swap, you know, like hit you with a ruler over your hand. You know, I remember when I worked at a call center, I've always hung out with older people. You know, I was the youngest there, and there were two brothers and a sister, and they were from Mexico City, and but they spoke like super country, and I know people think that about me, but I don't hear it. But anyway, I could hear it in their accent, right? And so I said, damn, how are they from Mexico City, right? they came here a little bit older. They were in older in elementary school. I think she said like she was in 5th and her brothers were in the 3rd grade. And so she said that you weren't allowed to speak Spanish back then. You were called a spick and, all this and that. So she's like, I remember getting hit. She's like, we didn't speak English. So what else were we going to speak? She's like, I remember getting hit on my hands for speaking Spanish. And I said, she goes, so, we learned English real quick. And I was like, wow, isn't that crazy that a teacher had the right to hit your hands back then?
Yeah.
Or a teacher was allowed to paddle you, because I remember being in kindergarten and us having to look at the closet where you put up your backpack, because someone was going to get a paddle right there. And they put the chair in the middle. And I swear to you, I just always remember like we would stare at the cabinets. And I just remember always wanting to look. I mean, if you looked, you'd get in trouble too.
Oh, dude, I got paddled so many times.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
I never did, but my parents always signed the paper that they could.
Oh, yeah.
Should some shit hit the fan.
For sure.
And I was like, I used to always be like, she goes, well, because you're not supposed to misbehave in school. And so if I'm not there, they're going to spank you. And I used to be like, my God, how do my parents let someone else spank me?
Well, that's when I knew the life wasn't fair, because when I would listen, I'd get in trouble and I'd be like, well, clearly this is unjust, because I knew what I didn't deserve to get paddling, but it was my word versus the teachers, or mine versus a group of whoever, right? And I just fucking took the brunt of it. That's when I knew I got popped. I was like, all right, life's not fair. Like, you're going to suck it up, and sometimes it's not going to work out in your favor.
I just kind of feel like, I don't know that I could, I don't know. I know for a fact I would never sign the permission slip for somebody else to spank my child. I would.
But also, we're built different, dude. Let's just be real.
We are.
You
it's
and I
totally
versus
different.
our kids, they're not the same.
They're just so in a crazier, easy access world where everything's easy. They don't need to learn how to spell. They don't have to learn how to write.
2 + 2 does not equal 4 anymore.
You know what I'm saying? They don't have to anything. Think about it. They don't have to anything.
Yeah, I jokingly tell Weston, I'm like, don't be soft. Don't be soft. And he's like, what is it? Well, the very first time I said that, he's like, what does that mean? I was like, and I explained it to him. He's like, look, just be have a little bit more toughness in your attitude or in your whatever whenever something doesn't go your way, okay? And I don't mean it to like make him feel bad. And I explained it to him. He's like, okay, I get it. I was being unreasonable. Yeah.
And I try to tell Penny all the time, like when she doesn't eat her food. I hate always saying like there's starving kids, right? Like there's families that don't have food, and here you don't, you're so picky. And I try to be that parent that says, too bad, that's what you're eating. And then I walk off, and then I'm thinking like, well, damn, what kind of parent am I that I'm like, too bad, so sad, eat it, and that's not what she wants to eat, and she's hungry. So I'm not gonna lie, I'll sit there for a while, and then I see that she doesn't touch it, and she doesn't touch it, and she doesn't come back to touch it later, because you know how they'll say like she'll eventually eat it if she's hungry. No, Penny will not eventually eat it. She knows how to grab a stool, and she'll just grab whatever snack she wants to eat. So I don't it's not a threat to her if she doesn't want to eat that. Does that make sense? Because
that's a tough one.
She has access to any food that's in the pantry. I always have boiled eggs, and so that's her jam. Only the white. She doesn't like the yolk. Can you believe that?
Weirdo.
I know. I'm always like, what? That's what I said. Like, it's the best part. She goes, it's disgusting. She loves egg whites. If I put egg whites in her lunch kit, she is one happy camper. Like, it's crazy. So she knows that there's always boiled eggs in this container that I keep them in. So she'll open the container. She'll get a stool and open the container, and she opens it up, takes the yellow part out, and she eats it herself. I mean, we're talking about, she's super independent, And yesterday she asked me, what happens when I'm 5? And I was like, well, I don't know. What do you mean? What happens when? She goes, well, what kind of things happens when you're 5? I was like, nothing happens. She's like, can I get braces? Because she watches the Ninja Kids, and the little girl got braces. She had like a huge overbite. It was like,
oof.
It was that bad.
Oof.
It was bad. So thank God for her getting those braces.
Did you tell her like, no, you have great teeth, so you don't need them?
I told her. I said, well, she has a cleaning in October.
Yeah.
So when you go, I said you can ask the dentist if you can get braces. She's like, okay. So she thinks she's about to get braces. She really, I don't know.
Jokes on you. They're like, yeah, you actually could use a retainer.
Yeah. Right. Hell no. Oh my God. Imagine. No. But yeah. So. If you just kind of think about it, like, I feel like we as parents need to be way more involved and like just ask our kids questions and where they're at, and sit down and talk to them a little bit more. And because I feel like that's what's getting taken out of the home, and we're allowing for teachers to talk to the children. We're allowing for the counselors to talk to the children. You know what I'm saying? And they're the ones being the influence versus what mom and dad's morals and values are, right?
Yeah.
And And it's, I told Pete this, it's very important for you to make a sturdy, strong child with your morals, right? And your beliefs. Because then, should someone try to influence them, it's like...
It's harder to penetrate.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And my word to the wise always to parents, whether you're step-parent, stepdad, stepmom, or biological mom or dad, is just take that extra breath that our parents didn't take with us. It'll go a long way. I can already see it. And the kids, they just turned 8. Obviously, you guys were there. And they're just... I couldn't ask for better stepkids.
Yeah. They're great, you know? I mean... And that has to do with parenting.
All of it, yeah.
100% with parenting. It's like...
Obviously, when you're in 2 different houses, though, it's a little tough. We know this. We all know this. If you're listening and if you're in this room, we know. But take that extra 2 breaths in that case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
All right, time to eat your lunch.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for listening for my rant. If you are turning 41 like me...
and you want to get Botox together...
Come with me because I'm really scared, and I'm not lying. I'm not kidding about being scared. I really am scared. I know where I'm going to go, but I'm still really scared. So I'm just putting it out there.
It's all right.
And if I come back and I have no expression like this, you know why.
Dude, you might not have any expression for a little bit, right? For like the first couple of days.
Okay, so my eyelash tech said you can get frozen to where there's none of this going to be happening. Yeah. Excuse me. Or you can get... in the middle to where you still have some expression, and I'm going in the middle.
As long as we know when you're mad, sad.
Yeah, exactly. I want to still be able...
happy.
I mean, can you imagine my child not know if I'm mad? It's like, okay, she's yelling, but her face is...
But you're smiling kind of, sort of. What's going on here? Lisa.
Oh, my God. I can't. Oh, my God. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you on Friday.